Kia ora, my name is Chlöe Swarbrick. I am a Green Party MP based in Auckland Central, and that is the electorate that I am campaigning to win for the Greens. Density, so enabling better development and warm, dry homes that are affordable for people, as well as public transit, cycling and walking. Access to green space is a really big one, as well as urban pollution. And on top of all of that, I think something which is very personal to me in politics is why people actually want to live in a city or in a certain place, and one of the kind of triggering factors for me to get involved in falling down the rabbit hole of politics back in 2015, 2016 for the local body elections was I was working in nightlife and gigs, and I had a bunch of friends who were artists and musicians, and there was just not the support for them, so they were being pushed further and further out, and it just was like, what's the point? What's the point of trying to make a city vibrant if you're just going to end up being crushed? So that was kind of recognising the connections between all of these different issues and trying to enable a system and a structure that upholds that vibrancy, that diversity, and that sharing of ideas. I think that students should vote for who they respect and who they think represents them. The reason that I am speaking to students and advocating that they vote for the Greens is because every single other party has demonstrated how they want to screw them over. Students should be engaged in policy and voting for the Greens, because I think the Greens are probably the only party that, this term have advocated for things like retention, or actually expansion back to reinstatement of postgraduate student allowance. We have our new poverty action plan, which will essentially create a universal student allowance of $325 a week. On top of that, moving towards making tertiary education free. Which, if we actually genuinely believe the rhetoric that it is a public good in this country, then that should be the case. And then I'll focus on things like housing as well, alongside, God forbid, ensuring that we all have a stable climate to inherit in the future. But the final kind of piece of that puzzle is recognition of the mental health crisis. So I've been really close to the expansion of the Picky pilot, which obviously originally firstly rolled out in the Greater Wellington region, and Vic Uni was one of the pilot unis. We've now taken it down to Christchurch, but I intend to see that accessible across the entire country. Important to note, however, that there is a difference between having those services available when people need them and reducing the stressful factors in life which currently place everybody in exorbitant amount of competition with each other, and therefore create all of the precipitating factors towards mental ill health, which the Greens are focused on fixing. Your landlord's voting. Why wouldn't you? There you go. Grant Guilford's voting. Are you? Mike Hosking's voting. Are you? Who else? The people who are spreading misinformation about abortion, about cannabis, about end-of-life choice, the people who are dogmatically opposed to evidence, the people who are climate deniers are voting. Your voice is needed. But also, if you look at politics and you look at Parliament and you go, that's all cooked, and then you give up your one opportunity to change it, look in the mirror, bro.